Hello everybody, today is Saturday, June 20th, 2020, 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. I am currently on the Queensboro Bridge. Today I'll be riding my bicycle all the way to Jersey City. Don't really like this bike lane. It's too narrow for two bicyclists on either side of the cross. The bike lane's supposed to be on the left, but pedestrians go on the right, but it's too narrow for two cyclists to comfortably pass each other without feeling endangered. I kind of like it the way they had before. Back in the early 2000s, I think, where one side was Manhattan-bound traffic and the other side was Queens-bound traffic. Seemed like it worked a lot better that way. Nice view here of Roosevelt Island and the Roosevelt Island Bridge. A lot of new developments going up on Roosevelt Island. Okay, so the way I'm going to get to the George Washington Bridge is via Central Park. I'm going to take the local streets to Central Park. Also, I'm curious how Central Park is doing nowadays. New York City is still on phase 1 reopening, although we will move to phase 2 reopening starting on the 22nd, which is Monday, only 2 days from now. But the phase 2 reopening, I believe, is the most important for New York City. It includes most of its office workers and also the restaurants, which are finally able to legally have outdoor service, dine-in service. On the phase 1, which is what we're currently under now, it really only includes the construction industry, warehousing, and manufacturing, which doesn't really make up too much of New York City's jobs. Then again, I don't expect too many office workers to go back at the start of next week, phase 2, because there are many companies who haven't figured out how to redesign their offices yet to deal with COVID-19 and social distancing measures, such as buildings with elevators. They gotta limit how many people are in the building at any time, and I don't think too many companies have figured that all out yet. Plus, the city does need a plan to address the population on the subway and mass transit. We'll see how that goes. I am going down the hill into Manhattan right now, into East Midtown. I want to maintain my speed because here it can get very congested with people walking, and then the pathway narrows over here. I don't advise anyone to pass their bicycles on this path, past any other bicycle. Here's where I don't really feel comfortable, is this sharp turn. Sometimes there's people coming up here and they don't see you. so I'd rather ring my bell, let people know. All right, so the way I'm gonna go across town here is to take 57th Street. Actually, I'll take 61st, it might be better now. So I'll make a left here. Seems like the city is getting more and more crowded every time I come in here. Even the pigeons got bread to eat now. Before they were fighting off for whatever crumbs were left on that street. All right, just made a left on 61st. I'm gonna take this all the way to 5th Avenue and then enter Central Park from there. Got the UPS guy delivering packages. It's a group of cyclists up there. I'm guessing they're on their way to Central Park as well. The weather is getting nicer, so there's a lot more people bringing out their road bikes, bringing in their clipless shoes and clipped-in shoes. I don't really like those clip-in shoes for New York City because I kind of feel like you really need the reaction time in order to react to all these unpredictable traffic sometimes. I'd hate to be clipped in when I need to avoid danger. A lot of debris here. I know they were resurfacing the road back there, but a lot of it moved up here to this street. Here's Lexington Avenue. Seems pretty quiet still on Lexington. I like the city biker holding a skateboard. That's a unique way to bring two forms of transportation with you. Rent a city bike and then ride your skateboard where you need to go. Park Avenue, looking down at the MetLife building and Grand Central Terminal. Formerly this was known as 4th Avenue. It became Park Avenue because that was an area with a lot of train traffic. The city forced the trains underground and they built a park on top of the train tracks. That's why it's called Park Avenue to this day, even though there really isn't any park there. Here's Madison Avenue. The roads are all ripped up here. Good to see the city doing infrastructure work now when the traffic is lighter. All right, here we are at Central Park, and it looks like this road is teared up too. So both Madison and 5th Avenue, one after the other, roads are ripped up. But they didn't rip up past 61st Street, which is interesting. All right, let's follow behind the bus, make a right turn, follow these cyclists. Interesting sculptures here. I think they look like zombie horses to me. All right, folks, I'm in Central Park. Let's see how busy Central Park is today. I see people out with picnic blankets out on some of these smaller lawns. Even some people feeling so confident to take off their shirts. Just wear a bikini, getting some tan in. I am making my way to the main loop road of Central Park. Taking this loop road around Central Park is around 6 miles. Central Park goes all the way from 59th Street to 110th Street. So a good 50 blocks or so of Manhattan. This is a completely man-made park designed by the architects Calvert Vaux and Frederick Law Olmsted. Also home to many famous movies, such as Home Alone, which had its prominent location at the Bethesda Terrace and Fountain. We got a fence here indicating how much people should social distance. It's a good amount of people out here in Central Park, walking and jogging and biking. Good to see people out here getting exercise and living their lives. Central Park was such a miracle to be created that the city had the foresight to secure land for the development of Central Park. Otherwise, I think New York City would be, well, at least Manhattan would be just one big urban valley of tall buildings. Central Park's land is probably the most valuable real estate that developers can't get their hands on right now in Manhattan. But it's great to have a central area where people can come relax, hang out, have all this space to walk around. It's just a great place to be. Oh, look at this. The city has repaved this part of the loop road. Good. Can really build up some speed here in Central Park. Whoa, bird, watch where you're flying. I could have rolled my bike right into that bird. Then again, that wasn't the first encounter with a bird in Central Park I had riding my bike. One time I was climbing a huge hill and there's a bird that just took up number 2 on my fingers. Thankfully, that's all that happened, but regardless, I don't think you want to be pooped on. See some more people there sunbathing. Here's another group with a inflatable swimming pool, looks like. Actually, I don't know what that is. It's an inflatable something. Doesn't look like they put any water in it. I don't know how you fill up the swimming pool right now in Central Park. It is pretty warm here, folks. Pretty warm. First official day of summer starts tomorrow. And I believe with the change in seasons will become a change in people's attitudes and moods. I already see people adjusting to the change of season. They want to go outside, have fun, and they're anxious to get out because they've been locked home for many months now. New York City went on pause mode in the middle of March, or maybe end of March, and we did not get restrictions lifted until beginning of June. There's even little children here. They brought out their scooters. Pretty cool to see that. Oh, I hear some music. Who's playing? Great to see and hear life return back to New York City, especially the musical performers. I think New York City will really come back to normal once I see Times Square, all the usual entertainers come back to Times Square. It's important on warm days such as these to stay hydrated. I have with me 2 bottles of water. Okay, I'm gonna go around this person. This is the East 90th Street exit of Central Park. To the left of me, by the way, is the Central Park Reservoir. Great running track there around the reservoir. By the way, I'm passing by Museum Mile. I forgot to mention that before. The Guggenheim Museum, I just passed as well. I couldn't really see it too well. That's one thing when you're traveling on this loop road, it can be hard to spot some of the prominent landmarks on Fifth Avenue because of all the tall trees. You really feel like you're in an oasis and an escape from the city when you're in Central Park. Take a look at this wooden playground here. Unfortunately, all the playgrounds are still closed. I'm not sure if some of them will reopen under the Phase 2 opening of New York City starting Monday. But I really feel for these children now that they don't have a place outside to play, with the exception of the local streets and sidewalks and parks such as this. And they have to do distance learning. It's hard sometimes to keep little children's attention when you sit them in front of a computer screen. Some of them are too young to even know how to use a computer, and they're interacting with their teacher or their instructor. It's hard to keep them motivated and focused. I don't really know when the city will reopen back up. If I had to make a best guess, then I feel like most things will open up back by October. That's when things really should feel back to normal. That's considering all the other factors remain constant, of course. There are reports of a second wave of COVID-19 hitting the country right now, as well as other parts of the world. Florida has seen a lot of cases recently since their economy reopened. This is the quieter section of Central Park. Not too many people come up to the northern part of Central Park. Most people come to the southern part. One, because it's the more famous area. It's the closest to Midtown. And two, because most of New York City, they can reach that part of Central Park with the subway easier than the northern parts of Central Park. Especially true because you have the two most populous boroughs, that being the borough of Queens and the borough of Brooklyn. Fastest way to get to Central Park is through the southern entrance, if you would take the subway. Alright, so this is the northern part of Central Park, 110th Street. I will be exiting right here, right before the Harlem Hill. Not that I want to bail or anything, but this is because this is where I need to go in order to catch the George Washington Bridge. A large group of people over here on these lawns. All right, folks, I'm going to make a left here once the traffic's free, of course. I know many New Yorkers, including myself, don't really like when the weather gets to be too humid. It can get pretty sticky here in New York. Fire engine coming down the street. Anyway, this is the neighborhood of Harlem, home of a lot of history, including many civil rights activists and the Harlem Renaissance. Large African American population here. Also, the creation of jazz was invented here. Many of these street names, too, are renamed after many civil rights leaders. Like here, Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. This is actually 7th Avenue. And Lenox Avenue behind me is 6th Avenue. I believe the next street over is called Frederick Douglass. There's also a Frederick Douglass circle here with a prominent statue of him in the middle. And then Frederick Douglass Boulevard becomes Central Park West after it goes to the parallel to Central Park. Wow, what's going on here? Central Park Medical Unit. Go ahead. All right, folks, I'm going to go around Frederick Douglass Circle. And I'm going to continue on 110th Street, which over here is also codenamed Cathedral Parkway because there's a lot of cathedrals here. The most famous one here being the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. Actually, it's only one cathedral here. That's St. John the Divine, which is famously called St. John the Unfinished because it's not finished yet. They've been building it for hundreds of years, and part of the side of the building is like different types of architecture than the other. I am putting in some muscle to go up this hill. Right? All right, let's go. Really huffing and puffing it up this hill. Well, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but good amount of traffic here on 110. Did someone lose their pedals here? That's not a good sign. Here it is, folks, Cathedral of St. John the Divine. Largest church in New York City. Up a few blocks over there is Columbia University. One of the two Ivy League colleges in New York State, the other one being Cornell. Columbia University's original name used to be King College. I'm going to continue going straight to Riverside Drive because there is a nasty drop in Manhattan Valley here that I do not want to ride on and then ride back up with the single speed bike. So I know the way around it where I don't have to deal with the changes in elevation. The Manhattan Valley is a natural point in Manhattan's geology where there's a dip. That area, Manhattan Valley, sometimes is also named Manhattanville. That's pretty interesting. I haven't really seen those NYPD units too commonly. The scooter units. All right, folks, Upper Manhattan seems like it's a small group of people here. Still not as lively as it could be, but at least people are starting to come out now. All right, here's 110th Street. There's two ways you can go on Riverside Drive, the local route or in the express route. But here you can see there's a makeshift bike lane here. All right, I'm gonna make a right here onto Riverside Drive. Here's 112th Street. Smells like freshly cut grass here. Nasty pothole here, by the way, between 112 and 113 on Riverside. I'll try to report it if I remember. Frequently, I do report potholes to the city. They're pretty responsive in filling them up. Okay, so very soon I will reach the Riverside Drive viaduct. This was built to go over Manhattan Valley and remain level. Riverside Drive is always pleasant to travel on, whether it's walking, biking, or driving here. Many impressive architecture and residences. Much of Manhattan's wealthy live on Riverside Drive. They also have a very nice park here called Riverside Park. And further down there, you can bike and walk all along the Hudson River. That pathway pretty much extends the entire length of Manhattan, all the way from Battery Park, all the way up to Inwood, Manhattan. There's one of the oldest churches in Manhattan, the Riverside Church. Really impressive. And on the other side here, we have the General Grant National Monument and National Memorial. General Grant, former president of the U.S., is entombed here inside this memorial along with his wife. But it is sad to see that this memorial is left in a state like this. It's not really upheld its maintenance ever since it was built. A lot of things fade from history. Back when Mr. Grant was buried, there was a funeral procession all the way down Manhattan, all the way down to Wall Street. They marched all the way up here, and if memory serves me correct, I think that funeral procession, it took even more than a day to complete. That's how popular Mr. Grant was at that time. And now this memorial is sitting here gathering weeds. And in some cases, I think even back in the 80s, it was vandalized with a lot of graffiti and defaced. All right, we're past the monument now. I'm about to go onto the viaduct. Very impressive feat of engineering right here. Robert Moses, the chief architect and designer of New York City's urban planning, had a major role in making this a reality. There's the bridge I'm going to take later, the George Washington Bridge in the distance with the Hudson River. If you look below me, I don't know if you can see there, but that's a deep dip in Manhattan's geology. That's the Manhattan Valley, and I'm riding right over it, remaining level. Otherwise, if I were to go down that valley, I'll have to go back up, and that's no fun on this bike. What the city does need to do, though, is clean up all the litter on the side of this viaduct. Needs to be some cleaning. There's a Shen Yun advertisement. I think Shen Yun was hard hit this year because of COVID-19. I don't even think those shows were playing at that time, March 5th to 29th, because of the pandemic. So anyway, in order for me to avoid climbing a large hill further on, I'm going to climb it right now on 135th Street. Otherwise, it's a steep descent there, and I don't want to do that. I know my elevation changes in Manhattan, but if I wanted to go down to Manhattan Valley, I can if I make a right here. What is going on here? A lot of green flags. All right, I'm going to make a left here. I guess they're not allowing cars to make a left here. Right, it's lively here in this part of Manhattan. Hamilton Meat Market. I'll just continue up Broadway to the entrance of the George Washington Bridge. Broadway doesn't have too much change in elevation at this point in Manhattan. Wow, look at this Montefiore Square expansion. Construction work going on all over the city now. This is a New York City that I'm slowly getting back to being used to again. See a lot of businesses starting to open up here. Mexican restaurants, delis. The barber shop there was closed though. They can't legally open up until phase 2, which is Monday. This neighborhood is called the neighborhood of Washington Heights. It's a large Hispanic population here. Things are slowly getting back to normal. And with that comes with a lot of trash as well. But people can't wait to get back to their normal lives again, reopen their businesses, and just go back to life as usual. That's the New York I know, is to hear people yelling at each other from across the street. Very busy here on this street, 145th. This car service driver is making a right here. I'm staying behind him. Wow, this car from Georgia just made a right all the way from the left lane. Now what's this car gonna do? All right, I just swapped my battery out. The cafe and restaurant open. I also checked out that fruit stand back there. They have a good selection of produce there. Right now the fruits look very good because it's summertime. I know in my neighborhood there's a local grocery store that sells nectarines and they're so juicy and plump right now. It's incredible. Truly out of this world. But that stand back there, they had everything from strawberries, blueberries, bananas, mangoes. Many of these fruits you can't get right now unless it's in season. Domino's Pizza. I know they've been doing well recently because there's a lot of people ordering delivery of pizza. And they've always known to be a delivery company and open late as well. Okay, so traffic's starting to get a little more dense up here. I really don't feel comfortable squeezing in between this bus, so I'll wait behind the light. Bus stop here, but I don't think this bus is stopping at this bus stop. No requirement to. By the way, on either side of me is Trinity Cemetery. It's part of Trinity Church downtown near Wall Street. Looks like I gotta wait behind here now. More construction work going on here. What are they doing on this street? Fixing something under the ground. Here, I want to go around this car in front of me. I don't see anything coming, so we'll go. All right, Washington Heights is happening today. A lot of people out. Oh my goodness, that ice cream truck is so tempting right now, but I know if I get a ice cream now, I probably cannot finish this ride. What I will do is wait here and I'll continue on Fort Washington Avenue. It's a better street than Broadway to bike onto the bridge. I know this is the long way to get to Jersey City. I could have just gone to Midtown and taken the ferry over or the PATH train, but I said I was biking there. Here's a New York City government property, housing projects, Fort Washington. Alright folks, here's 165th Street. This was the large hill I wanted to avoid had I continued on Riverside Drive. Very steep of nature. I probably cannot make it on this bike. Here's one of the largest hospitals in the area, New York Presbyterian, along with Columbia University Irving Medical Center. They got a skywalk there with 3 levels. Wow, even hospital beds there. These workers have worked very hard throughout the pandemic and still are. So I really commend them for their support and all their efforts that they've done for every New Yorker in this time of need. All right, George Washington Bridge, not too far away from here. I see the bus terminal already. The George Washington bus terminal. One of 2 bus terminals in Manhattan, serving the regional area, the other one being the Port Authority. This one, the George Washington bus terminal, is also owned by the Port Authority, but no one calls this one the Port Authority. They just call it the George Washington bus terminal. Okay, so the next block I need to make a left on 177. So I'm going to get in the left tire track. All right, left turn here. This is confusing and a little bit dangerous because they have another bike lane on the other side of the road. You would think at first glance you see the green and you can go there, but no. You may collide into another biker going the other way. Thank you. Okay, so right turn here, George Washington Bridge. Now the Port Authority was going to revamp this bridge entrance to make it more accommodating, but I still think it's the same disaster as it was before with these narrow helix. Yep, it is. I hate this. I don't even think I could complete this turn on this bike. We'll see. It's so narrow. Oh my gosh, this is so hard for me. Yeah. Hate this, hate this, hate this. Can I do this one? I think I can. This one's a little less steep than the other one. Yeah, hard for me. Ooh. Hate this, hate this, hate this. All right, I did it. Just walk up that one little section. Okay, traffic on the George Washington Bridge. This is what I'm used to seeing because on a normal New York City day, this bridge always has traffic issues. You don't know how many times I've turned on the radio or watched the news and then they'll say, up, we got another hour delay on the George Washington Bridge, upper level. Every day like that. Great view here of the Manhattan waterfront as well as New Jersey, which I'm going to. Beautiful with the mighty Hudson River there too. Squeaky bike. Also, what's new to this bridge is the suicide netting. It's very unfortunate that people decide to come up here and take their life, but it's understandable why they had to put this suicide netting up. It makes it that much harder for someone to do just that. Blind corners here, it's hard to tell sometimes. There's signs here that say pass with care. Definitely want to do that here. On your left. I would look left more often, but you gotta be really careful on this bridge. There's columns on either side, it's narrow. Also, the suicide netting doesn't really give a great view of the bridge anymore. your left. On your left. Watch out for this stuff. Alright, gotta ring my bell again. Amazing to see all this traffic on this bridge. I don't see anyone in the mirror, but I ring my bell anyway. Okay, so now I'm in New Jersey and I beat out all this car traffic. Now on my way to Jersey City. In New Jersey, it is legal to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk. All right, I'm making a left here. Actually, the signs for this bike path are not very well labeled. Here's Fort Lee Historic Park. You can go inside here, check out the old fort and the overlook of the George Washington Bridge. Over here is a very famous road that many road cyclists come to in the New York City metropolitan area. Informally, it's called the River Road. I forgot the name of its official name, but it's part of the Palisades Interstate Park, and it's a very scenic trail. Goes all the way upstate to the New York State, New Jersey borderline. But today I'm going to take this road over here, which is the actual River Road, going into Jersey City. Now there is a Hudson River waterfront path here, but it is broken up in parts and it's somewhat challenging to navigate sometimes just due to how broken up it is and a lot of detours involved. One thing I will guarantee you though, I am not biking up this hill coming the way back, because last time I did it on this bike and I got a severe leg cramp. Oh, it's called the Hudson Drive. That's the official name, not River Road. But anyway, I will make a left turn here. And be careful of all these cars as well. A little bit daunting to ride with all this road traffic, but as long as I keep my wits about me, I should be fine. Just ride in the center of the road, the left tire track or the rightmost lane, and the cars generally will respect your space. All right, so this is what I do. Just ride here because there's no other way for cars to go anyway. Very steep hill, whoa. Palisade Terrace along with a firehouse. This is the Edgewater neighborhood of New Jersey. Appropriate because it's at the edge of the water. There's a sign there for the Hudson River front walkway there. I could go to my left if I wanted to. But I don't think it's connected here just yet. I wouldn't want to go here. I think the way the Hudson Riverfront waterfront works, or the Hudson Riverfront walkway works, is that New York City has an agreement with all these waterfront property owners that they have to build this walkway and connect it. Now, because it's all different owners, property owners, the walkway is not always uniform, and there could be different materials, different shapes and sizes, so in a way that's not a good thing. Whoa, big holes there, big drops. A lot of car traffic here. Nice ball field here, Veterans Field, Edgewater. Excellent American flag there too, by the water. Okay, I think I am in a downtown area, one of New Jersey's waterfront neighborhoods. This is still Edgewater. They have outdoor dining here on this sushi restaurant. I'm not sure if New Jersey is on phase 2 or phase 3 of their reopening of the economy, but I know they are ahead of New York. but outdoor dining is already allowed over here in New Jersey. Look at this, there's people enjoying lobster outside. If you want to have an outdoor meal, come to New Jersey. It's only across the river, short trip away from New York City. I hear a lot of monk parrots there. I'm staying behind these cars. Let them make the right turn and then I'll continue. Gasoline price here for regular is $2.01 per gallon. Roberto's Sioux Italian restaurant open for takeout with a phone number in front. This property complex called Mariners Landing. This one here is called Crown Village. I see the car up there wanting to make a right turn, so I'll wait back here. Edgewater Marketplace. Strip Mall has Trader Joe's, jewelry store, massage envy, animal general, and pet value. Traffic's picking up now. I'm headed towards downtown, so that's expected. Here's Mitsua, the famous Japanese marketplace. I think I will check it out. Maybe I can go to the Hudson Waterfront walkway from here, Mitsua. I've actually never been here yet. I've heard a lot of good things about this place. Wow, there's a line to get into Mitsua. Look at all these people. Also Daiso. No, wait, that line is for Daiso. Look at this line to get into Mitsua. I guess people want their Japanese goods and Asian produce. My goodness, folks. It's a longer line than Costco here. Goes around the store. My goodness. Let's see if there's a waterfront path here. I'll be delighted to ride on one if there is. And there is. We'll continue here. Wow. All right, so this is the Mitsua Shopping Center, and here's Hudson Pot, and the Hudson River walkway, which should be in a pleasant area to ride my bicycle on, so we'll go here, at least until I get to Hoboken. The water seems calm today, which is a good thing. Now on this Hudson River walkway, the pedestrians do have right of way, so I do have to be mindful of them. Thanks. Uh-oh, I gotta be careful of these geese. They're sitting down, which may mean geese nest. Those Canada geese can get pretty aggressive when they're defending their young. There's a Target shopping center. Yacht club here. Don't want to disrupt these pigeons. Last time I was here, I don't remember all this stuff being built up like this. On your left.
Oh, you gotta go up there.
Look at that, people hanging out there by the abandoned pier. Also walking their pets. Nice to see that. Nice change of pace from the main road there on River Road with all those cars. Ooh, nice, a dog park there. Nice flowers blooming here too. Thank you. Look at this gorgeous view of the Manhattan skyline. I'm still on the Upper West Side when compared to Manhattan's area. Nice trees. I don't know what species these are, but provide a lot of shade here underneath it. I'm noticing parts of the pathway go dipping and straight. Thank you. It's always good to have a bell on a bike, I think, especially a loud one like this. have traffic cones here. Probably a hole right underneath it. This is my first time over the Hudson River into New Jersey since coronavirus started. I'd like to know how the residents here are faring. I would think that places here are, whoa, gotta go around here. That was an abrupt end. Then again, that's what I was warning you about, because different companies have different sections of the walkway and it's not always continuous. Hopefully I'll be able to connect to it again going through this parking lot, I guess. Kind of looks like the middle of nowhere, so I really hope that I can. I don't think maybe I can. Let's try it. I wish these people would put like signs up or something. Signs like walkway ends, you gotta go to the street and then come back around. No. Yeah. Definitely need some signs here. Well, I'm not going out through this way because it says do not enter. I'll go through the parking lot and then go out. Hopefully there's another way I can get to it. I will ride on the sidewalk just because it's easier for me to do so. And I'll know definitely when this construction site ends so I can enter the walkway again. And I go in through here. We'll see. Warning, high voltage. Maybe that tent is just past the fence, so I'm crossing my fingers hoping I'm able to. Oh wow, Quanta Resources Superfund site. That's why this whole thing was here. They're cleaning up the environment. All right, there is some kind of waterfront path here. But it is not finished. Although, can I go that way? It'd be much shorter for me to lift my bike up here than to walk or ride my bike And of course there's a fence. The good thing is I saw a driveway there, so I'm able to turn left and then continue on. If the walkway continues here and stays continuous, then I'll be pretty happy. All right, here's the other side of the fence that I tried to sneakily go past, but to no avail. Now I'm here. I am hearing some loose bricks though, which is not a good thing to hear. Look at this, outdoor dining for this restaurant. Great. And it's busy too. The Haven restaurant. Such a great view of the Hudson River. It's amazing the stark contrast in population density between New York City's Hudson River waterfront and also New Jersey's. Here there's barely anybody. If you go over to the other side of the river, that pathway will be used a lot more. But a lot of the reasons have to do with the economy as well. This isn't as easy to access as the New York City waterfront. You saw what I had to go through. I had to ride my bike all the way up the river over the bridge and then come down here. There really isn't a train that comes over here. And again, the waterfront abruptly ends here. But I gotta go this way now. And also, as I stated before, this walkway is owned by different property owners, so it's not uniform. Really, I gotta go back onto the street again? This is not cool. No. All right, that was a section of the Hudson Riverfront walkway, but now I gotta go over to the next sign. Next section. Large construction site. Hopefully the waterfront comes here. Thank you. No, I can't get to the waterfront from here. I have to keep going. So it is definitely not a nice waterfront. Oh, I can go here. Hudson River walkway. Wow, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here if they want to put a walkway on this section. Looks like part of it was made out of wood and it just disintegrated. Okay, so the pavement switches materials and colors, so this is another property owner. Nice homes here. I like these red roofs and balconies. And I actually like this material better than the brick. It's a lot smoother for riding a bicycle. And that didn't last long. Now this is Half Moon Harbor Luxury Apartments property. A lot of goose poop here. I think the geese understand what the bell means, even if they try to ignore it. Okay, where do I go now? Now, I don't want to risk not having a waterfront path, so I'm going to continue going on this parking lot because it'll still get me parallel to the waterfront and I'll have a better chance of not running into a roadblock like I did before. It's the smarter thing to do. I actually see one now, waterfront. Okay, so I am going to connect to the waterfront pathway and make a left here. Straight shot right to the waterfront. Strong winds here by the water. Thank you. Uh-oh, geese. See how good this bell is. Thank you. All right, and no more waterfront pathway unless, no, it's not too bad. I just gotta go around this gas pipeline, ride on the sidewalk for a little bit. Okay, so it's a wider sidewalk here. Acceptable. Alright, so I entered the township of Gutenberg from the town of North Bergen. Alright, I'm starting to see more tall buildings here. I assume, just looking across the river, I'm probably around, I'd say like 80th Street or so from Manhattan. Got a wooden bridge, slippery when wet. That's cheating. The owner cannot be riding a bike pulling the dog along. No fear for the dog. Where's the dog's bicycle? Someone having a barbecue, birthday party, baby shower maybe. Nice. Nice fountain there. I see the Central Park Tower there. A lot of the skyscrapers on 57th Street as well. Midtown West, otherwise known more commonly as Hell's Kitchen, Hudson Yards. Beautiful New York City skyline. like the slogans for this property. You can't see the skyline from the skyline. Absolutely true. But then again, I'll have to add to that you don't get the convenience of living in Manhattan without being in Manhattan. Whoa, look at this. Tons of outdoor dining here. Great to see people out here enjoying their lunches and meals. Right now it's a little past 3 o'clock p.m. Should drink more water. Feeling a little bit thirsty, which you shouldn't be when you're riding a bike. Wow, even the Verrazano Narrows Bridge is visible now. It's such a clear day. That's all the way in South Brooklyn, connecting to Staten Island. And I also see the Exchange Place down there, the Goldman Sachs skyscraper. There's the New York Waterway ferry boat. I can bail right now and take my bike on that boat. Go right into Manhattan again. It is unfortunate that there isn't a way to travel from Midtown Manhattan to New Jersey via a pedestrian bridge or walking across or cycling. I wish both states can come to an agreement and make something like that happen. Okay, I don't know which county this is now, or township in New Jersey. Oh, this is Port Imperial at Weehawken. All right, so Weehawken, I'm close to the Lincoln Tunnel, 42nd Street area. Wow, this leaves changing colors already. Looks like Weehawken's closed their gates to this playground. Following with New York State. Thank you. Alright, I don't see a continuation. May have to use the parking lot again. Look at this outdoor deck. I have to say, New Jersey is handling COVID-19 a lot better right now than New York City as far as I guess people's mindset goes. There's a lot more space here. A lot of restaurants that have outdoor seating. But then again, I'm really only judging this by the waterfront area. Okay, I have a feeling that I am near the Hoboken neighborhood now. Seems like I'm getting pretty close to the 34th Street area. Hoboken is the birthplace of famous singer Frank Sinatra. A lot of people don't realize that he was born in Hoboken, even though he's famous for singing songs about New York. Okay, there was a sign there that says need to wear a mask. No mask, no entry, which is very interesting for an outdoor area like this. Okay, so right in front of me, Hudson Yards neighborhood and 34th Street. I see the Empire State Building directly across. Oh wow, look at that. That's the vessel structure at Hudson Yards. I've never seen it from across the river like this before. Okay, it says you need to use the main entrance. wow. Look at this. Oh, wow, can't go there. It's rather inconvenient to come here, all this winding roads and non-continuous sections. Okay, so I'll have to go this way. I guess these traffic cones make it so you can walk here and bike here. Huh. Uh-oh, crash. All right, so it's open here. Wow, look at all this exercise equipment, caution taped off. Right? Wow, this is a long building. Is this a parking lot? Maybe a combination parking lot and residential and office. Harbor 1500. Roof Chris Steakhouse. They have outdoor service. At least I saw one table there, but no chairs. So I'm not sure if they are open completely for dining outdoors. Jack Austin's Eat and Drink Plenty of tables and chairs there. This is a really nice area. It goes right over the water. I know to construct a pathway like this will cost considerable amount more money than one over land like over there, but there's probably a reason why they had to do this. What is closed? Oh no. Why did they do this? Doesn't make sense.
It's a bird flying.
What bird? Whoa, is this a sunken ship? I see the mast up through the water. Might be some buried treasure in there. All right, I think this is Hoboken now. Yes, Hoboken's newest waterfront. So I'm going to go on the streets of Hoboken now. Just to see what it's like here. A lot of new developments. Pretty quiet in this area. Here's Walgreens Pharmacy, but they have caution tape right inside the entrance. There's a museum back there, the Historical Museum of Hoboken. Someone's moving, U-Haul. There's a Frank Sinatra Drive here. In case you didn't know that Frank Sinatra had his life here. Thanks. Take care. Be careful of opening car doors here. Historic homes, I can tell they're very old. Brownstone homes. St. Matthew Trinity Lutheran Parish. See some homes for sale here too. That one was advertised as a carriage house. Look at this, there's no interior in this building. Maybe they're renovating it, but keeping the outside. Wow, beautiful skywalk there. Wow, look at that. There's two cannons there. Hudson Street and 4th Street I'm on. Might as well just stay on Hudson Street. Nice bike lane through the area. Both Hoboken and the Jersey City area are friendly to bicycles. They've got a lot of bike infrastructure in those cities. Bike lanes all over, even on that street. There's also a waterfront pathway here too, along Hoboken, but I think I've seen enough waterfront. I'd rather check out some of the inner city here. see how people are doing, but all in all, it's pretty quiet. It really has been quiet when compared to some place like New York City. There's a sign that says bike lane ends and then ahead, so it ends in front of the police station and then it begins again, I guess. There's a Thai restaurant here as well as another bar. And artichoke pizza. So here's Artichoke Pizza. They've got many locations throughout New York City, but this is the first artichoke pizza that I've seen in Hoboken. Their slices are so dense. There's so much cheese on that slice. Eating one, you can get full from it. Straight here. Interesting design for a TD Bank. Greek or Roman columns for the entrance. This place Simply Chai is open for takeout and delivery, and all these restaurants have outdoor seating. There's Hoboken Terminal to my left. Big transit hub for boats, regional trains, New Jersey Transit, PATH train, buses, everything. I think I'll go around Hoboken Terminal and then end this video. It's been long enough already. New Jersey Transit engine house, by the way. Why am I going here for? There's a bike lane on the other side. That's what I get for being unfamiliar with the area. That thing has got to wait for the light. All right, let's go. Nice separated bike path and walkway for people. Feel a lot more comfortable over here than riding on the side over there. Hoboken car wash. Cool. Bike lane ends, but it's okay because I'm gonna go this way underneath this train underpass. And after I go under here, I'll be in Jersey City. Newport area. I'll wait for this light to go and then go around to an area where there's less traffic and then end the video. Newport Waterfront. I do not remember this bike path here when I was last here in Newport. The paint still smells fresh. So good job with the bike lane here at Newport. Although it is tricky to navigate. Due to all the driveways. Sidewalk closed. Why? Oh, I see why. A lot of construction here. Well, that was a really nice ride, folks. All the way from Queensboro Bridge over the George Washington, down the New Jersey waterfront to Jersey City, Newport area. But if you enjoyed this long bicycle ride, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And I'll see you all next time, folks. Take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye.